yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one.
Yeah, man.
I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Mike Washington is still on assignment. He's living that island life. I'm so jealous, but I'll get there soon enough. It's time. July is going to be the month that I decide to go sit on the beach, put my feet in the water, and just relax my mind so I can get back into this football season and be ready to go. With that being said, it's almost upon us. But I want to say welcome to episode 833 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs in the business of HBCU sports. In short, we just call it the HBCU sports pedagogy. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta, Cavil, along with my co-host, Mike Washington and Charles Bishop, filming from our home studios. And sending a signal live to KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, multi-Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper, beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. With that being said, let's bring everybody on board. As we're bringing the team on board, Charles, you got caught. They caught you, man. You when you got stuck before the show. Glad to see you got back in there.
What happened? Oh, really?
Check your text. That wasn't right. I said, I got to get it. But it's safe. It's just
we'll text it to you later.
We won't have it public. We won't make a social media meme out of it.
I hope I wasn't doing nothing crazy.
No, it just caught you. It's just the yawn. It just caught you in the yawn. I was looking back. I said, how long he gonna yawn? Then I was like, oh. Today's episode of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab is sponsored by THG Agency. THG Agency is a company that provides sporting, education, consulting, and data analytics. With that being said, back to you, Charles. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Doc. Doing well. Doing as well as can be expected. Trying to get through these little dental appointments and whatnot. So I'm soldiering on today.
I can imagine. I can get it. With that being said, 80 Drew, how are you today?
Doc, we are on break. How you think I'm doing?
Oh, you're doing well.
I'm doing extremely well, man.
Working from the house, taking a call or two here, a little online call maybe here and there, but yeah, some beautiful things.
Somebody asked me yesterday, was I coming to the office? And I asked them, is there anything that I got to do in this office that I cannot do on Zoom? That's all I'm going to say.
Smart. I get it. Very well said at that. Well, as we said, we are getting prepared. And before you know it, it will be time, as Charles alluded to there, quiet before the storm, when it really gets going, at least from a media perspective and excitement. And for a lot of the fans, with the engagements you have with the commissioner having a State of Union conference, I guess I should say. And then you obviously have the coaches and key players that you get excited about talking to. But everybody believes that in baseball, we say spring brings hope eternal. I guess in football, it's the fall season is eternal for people's expectation. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how it turns out. But we have one thing that will kind of conclude, our fall, spring 2025, 2026 updates. And today we will announce from the mid-major position the AD, Vice President of Athletics, at the mid-major level. That's NCAA Division II and NAIA program. So I'm excited about that. Last week we did the FCS Division I level, and you have Ashley Robinson, 4th times in 5 years. Only one that has been able to break it was Carrie Davis over there at Howard University. But outside of that, they need to check Ashley. He seems to have a lot. This is his 2nd time getting back-to-back years in terms of sharing it. And so I thought it was really admirable of him to represent and have an interview on the show in terms of how he shared his acknowledgement in terms of what his team, players, and coaches, and university for that matter, was able to do for him. So I thought that was fascinating. Certainly brought a smile to Charles's face, which I love to do. At times, but it's good to see Charles smile.
Well, I see you're gonna rattle the cages now on the Division II level. So last week, a bunch of people calling and texting and posting and all that good stuff on the Division I level.
They were trying to navigate, get information, and I told them on the show, but people still want to have questions in terms of how this is framed, how this breaks down. Got a chance to go on the Jaguar Journal and provide an update Saturday morning, so that was pretty cool to get an opportunity to do that for the radio. Some good questions in terms of poignant about Southern University, AD there, and told where he was ranked outside of the top 6. But in tremendous interview. But as you alluded to, I did quietly get some text messages that a couple of them were agreeable. Some of them just wanted to get a little more information in terms of that. I was amazed about how many people thought highly of the fact that chasing number 1 was important, but the fact they were in the top 6, they felt good about. And I said that says something. That says something. Well, this is the inaugural one. So to get interesting, it's the inaugural one, first one. AD over the years has said, Stephen Gaither talked about the fact that, we need to represent. So I finally got the chance to put all the data work. Mid-majors make you do a little more work, but it's okay. They do deserve, certainly, to get the information out, and we'll do it today. With that being said, let me go to you, Charles, and let's go through some other news of the day. What has you excited before we do our unveil in the second slot, if you would?
Yeah, actually, let's stay with the theme of athletic directors as this comes to us from HBCU Sports. Veteran HBCU administrator named new LeMoyne-Owen athletic director as LeMoyne-Owen has appointed veteran HBCU athletic administrator Roderick Smothers Jr. as its new director of athletics, effective on yesterday, July 1st. Smothers will lead efforts to strengthen recruiting and improve operations and enhance athletic performance while advancing the student-athlete experience at the SIAC school. And this is a statement from Roger Smothers. I'm a strong advocate for HBCUs and amplifying the need to inspire the next generation of athletic administrators. I look forward to working alongside the staff and our collective mission to advance athletics and ensure our student-athletes are on a path to becoming the next leaders. And, of course, he's coming over from Alabama A&M, where he was assistant athletic director for ticketing. So kudos to Roderick Smothers Jr. Upon accepting the position at LeMoyne-Owen.
Good information. Smothers. Shout out to Smothers. Remember Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated as well. Did a lot of good work over there at the NIA. Get a chance to move over to Division II into the SIAC from the HBCU AC. So it's going to be fascinating to see what that looks like in terms of operating on a level. He brings a wealth of experience, and as the article shared, he's had some success. So it'll be fascinating to see as he joins the SIAC over there with AD Droop, and for those folks that are doing the work under Dr. Hollowman, Commissioner of SIAC, along with the athletic directors on that team. So fascinating, gets a chance. I wonder how much will he share in terms of the NIA side and what that will bring to the table, because I'm sure it's a little different. There are a lot of similar things, but And then obviously he has some things that he certainly can learn. So it's going to be fascinating how much he believes in opening up and getting a chance to see, what he can learn in that position. So I'm fascinated with that. I think that's going to be intriguing to see what that looks like moving forward. With that being said, AD Drew, what's on your mind in terms of news of the week, essentially now?
Well, first of all, I want to start off by saying Happy Founders Day to my mother. That is Mother Tuskegee. As July 4th will be Founders Day for Tuskegee. So just got to get that shameless plug out. We enemies now.
I'll celebrate that.
But that is where I got my roots at. So I do have to acknowledge that. So
you should.
Yeah. And sticking with the SIAC, because it looked like this is going to be the theme of the day so far. How about this came from the SIAC office earlier today? Johnson C. Smith University Board of Trustees announced its appointments of the 2026-2027 academic year, naming SIAC Commissioner Dr. Anthony Hollowman as a newly elected member. Hollowman is a JCSU alumnus, class of 1992, and a 2024 Johnson C. Smith Athletics Hall of Fame inductee. He brings decades of experience in collegiate athletics, student development, and higher education leadership. Hollowman's expertise will help strengthen the university's continued commitment to academic and athletic excellence. And, congratulations, Dr. Hollowman, getting that appointment in Board of Trustees. But when Johnson C. Smith plays an SIAC institution, Dr. Hollowman, your board appointment or your conference?
I know Dr. Hollowman. I'll tell you where that's going to go. He's going to go where the check is bread and butter, as we've learned before some other folks. But what is interesting when you bring it up, does that mean there may be some different opportunities for some Johnson C. Smith and matches and games, if you would, against SIAC? Obviously, all four commissioners are working together. Jackie McWilliams has had great relationships in terms of CIAA SIAC partnerships. Will this help further that? And then I'm going to stir the pot a little bit. Is the SIAC interested in getting into the Charlotte market? Much history in the CIAA for the league. Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Interesting debate with Atlanta and Charlotte right now. Ooh.
Yeah, we'll let social media and Steve take care of that.
Yeah, I got one more though, and this is a serious issue though. I hope Dr. Hollowman is able to bring his expertise and help Johnson C. through the accreditation issues that they're having there also, and hopefully he's able to help help with that issue that they have.
And I think he brings a valuable amount of information in terms of his role before, where he's been in touch with athletics as of late, but before that he did foundation development. So he's done a lot on the academic side.
Yeah,
well prepared to understand the holistic look at institutions. Sure, you're right. He'll be invaluable about that. And I think it's also good from the perspective that we don't often see people that have traveled the path, whether ADs that have done really well, particular commissioners, be able to succeed and be on boards. That's not something that happens very often. So the fact that Johnson C. Smith saw the opportunity to take somebody like that from that career space, I think is very important about, in all seriousness, what he can do to support Johnson C. Smith, which he's going to make sure he does everything in his power to make Johnson C. Smith better for the alumni that have loved it all over this time, and just as importantly for students to come. So it'll be fascinating to see that work. With that being said, let's take our first break, come back on the other side, and it's time for the big.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural taste, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now. From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Charles Bishop, A.D. Drew. Excited to jump in here and let's look at the top six. We'll start with number 6. So let's bring up that if we did that. We have Danita Drain Rogers, Langston University, HBCU out of the Sooner Athletic Conference, one of the few NAIA programs that is not a part of the HBCU AC. Long-standing, obviously, people know the history of being a member of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and then moving out of that, dropping out of that conference, and has been a part of a couple of different conferences, most recently before the Sooner Athletic Conference with the Red River Athletic Conference. And Danita Drain Rogers, I should say, has had success as a women's basketball coach, even went on to coach at Grambling at the Division I level, but came back to Langston. And they had dipped a little bit, but they have come back hard recently. And what they've been able to do from a basketball perspective, which galvanizing a lot of folks, both on the men's and women's side, particularly people have seen on the men's side in terms of a championship run, not just in terms of the conference, but a NIA championship run that had the men's program in the championship game. Second time in 3 years. Fascinating when you think about work she's done. particularly with women's basketball as well, holding up lid there. I did some updates to the facility. I have one of the nicest NIA basketball facilities out there. So credit goes to Nita Drain Rogers in terms of what she's able to do over the years at Langston, particularly this year, 25, 20, 26. Not ranked. Again, this is the first year of the poll ranking. So 71.47 points puts Dr. Nita Drain Rogers of Langston University. Pride Lions up there at number 6. At number 5, this is a legend. He's been a legend as a football coach. Now he's finding a way to be a legend as a administrator, particularly as an athletic director. And now he's even outside of that in a lot of ways, doing more university type of work as well. But what he's done for athletics in that program there, Virginia Union Panthers, not ranked, obviously, again, first year, 73.23 points. We've certainly seen what they've done in football, particularly from that, but a lot of accolades. Harlan Hill winner in terms of what's been able to produce. But they win across the board. They've been winning in a lot of sports, very competitive across the board. In terms of a private school, the funds that they've been able to raise for the athletes to be competitive is always something that's significant that weighs hard in terms of the analysis that we do here. Moving on to number 4, we're going to stay with the private schools. Reginald Ruffin, Tuskegee Golden Tigers, 76.35 points. Take a step back on the football field, but have won in some other sports, but a lot of facility updates. So they're putting the team in position to win. So we'll see what that looks like. But we talked about lights at the stadium, first time ever of a night game, historic. And has done a really good job of leveraging media to get the story out of Tuskegee and the athletic program, working under multiple presidents. But this year has taken a height in terms of facility updates with announcements with more to come. So that's fascinating. Being able to cross over, get some matchups with FCS programs. So always fascinating when you see that. Bringing us to number 3, we're going to go back in terms of the NAIA. This is Andre Payne, Talladega Tornadoes, all-conference trophy award winner of the HBCU AC with 82.08 points. Has had a lot of success championships, is thinking outside of the box, bringing in what might be the precursor to a football program, but they're doing it with a partnership with the local school there. So fascinating. He's also the women's basketball coach, so doing a little double duty there, which is always intriguing to me when you're able to make that done. But anytime you're able to put up all sports trophy, it goes a lot into the updates. Nice facilities there, including the football field, which will get even more usage now. At number 3 is none other than Andre Payne, Talladega Tornadoes. At number 2, Anthony Bennett.
Wow.
Bill State Broncos. Really quiet over there, but all sports trophy winner. Gets it done in a lot of championships. The football team has been right there. Does a heck of a job of doing hiring and supporting the programs, but they win. And may not be, quote unquote, the most historic brand back in terms of the second public institution, first NCAA Division II public institution in the ranking, but they're at number 2, 85.94, bringing us to number 1. One of the biggest brands out there is Morehouse Maroon Tigers with Harold Ellis, 89.75, won all sports trophy from the SIAC on the men's side. Looking to do updates on facilities. One of the big things that calculated well is the fact that he's been able to use the brand of Morehouse and facilitate matchups. Obviously, one goes back to last year, so not that weighted in here. with the NBA, but the bigger ones, football matchups in New York with Howard, as well as basketball matchups on Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday, captured and has facilitated the growth of Morehouse that for many people recognize Morehouse the brand, but it was for the academic side. As of late, they've got in the athletic business, particularly in terms of what they've done for baseball being much more competitive, changes in football, so we'll see where that goes. But track and field, cross country, indoor, being able to sustain the success of head coach Willie Hill that landed a couple of more championships that brings his total to 51. You talking about also basketball championship that hadn't been done since 2003, won the SIAC East Division, so got the double dip there. So rankings here brings number one. It's Harold Ellis, Morehouse Maroon Tigers. So let's go over the top six. Ask your thoughts there. As Danita Drain Rogers, Langston Lions of the NAIA, Joe Taylor, NCAA Division II, Virginia Union Panthers. And number 4, Reginald Ruffin, Tuskegee Golden Tigers. Division II, SIAC. And number 3, Andre Payne, Talladega Tornadoes. NAIA, HBCU AC, Anthony Bennett of Fayetteville State. And number 1, Harold Ellis of Morehouse Maroon Tigers. I'll go with you, Charles. What are your thoughts? This inaugural 6 of the mid-major division directors of athletics that are getting it done at the NAIA NCAA Division II level.
Well, obviously, I think you rattled the cage again because my phone is going crazy over here. The Tuskegee contingent has gone off over here. But
hey, tell them to win a couple more championships. That'll be good.
And I guess
go ahead, give me a little more championships.
It's another strong class, though. I commend you on the top 6. I was curious with regards to if Danita Drain Rogers was in the mix with what they've done over at Langston. But the question I wanted to ask, is there beyond the winning speaks for itself, but is there a leadership component that you take a look at that with regards to these athletic directors that you say, that catches my eye?
Yeah, I think in the NAIA NCAA Division II, leadership is even at a greater height, I would say, than at the FCS level, if there's such a thing. And that's because so much additional revenue and support is necessary to facilitate teams that can be competitive in what are some very ultra competitive matchups. So also facility development is something that we look at. Where are you doing with your facilities, which is big across the board regardless. That's been a thing today. Obviously, people talk about NIL, but just as much as you're trying to figure out NIL, which is different at this level, what you can do in terms of facility development is something that ranks significantly in these rankings. And you'll see that with a lot of these ADs and VPs of athletics at the mid-major level. So good question in terms of what that looks like. Let me go to you, AD Drew. What are your thoughts in terms of the top 6? It's a pretty good mix.
Yeah.
Couple of IEC, couple of CIAA, couple of NAIA, one HBCU AC conference, and one outside of it.
Yeah. 4 private, 2 public schools, with Langston and Fayetteville being the 2 public schools. What's intriguing about this division, Dr. Cavil and Charles, is the fact that unlike the FCS, there are more schools that you have to compete with at this level to get this award. There are like 35 schools between D2 and NAIA versus the 21 that are at the, or 23 that are at the FCS level. So just more competition, just purely based on the number of people who are in there, and you're doing this stuff with tremendously smaller budgets than our people at the FCS level are doing. One of these people, and I am so happy to see him on this list, outside of my athletic director. But that's number 3, Andre Payne. And Andre Payne and I go back, oh my God, over 20 years. He almost hired me as his assistant coach when he was at Texas College.
Did not realize that.
Yes. Yeah, he wanted me to come to Texas College. We just couldn't get everything right when I was coaching. But to take it one step further, and why he has a soft spot in my heart is the fact that he recruited my son in basketball and signed my son in basketball when he was at Denmark Tech. So I am happy to see Payne here, and I think Payne just made the cut because he just got that 1 year in that you needed, Dr. Cavil, because he took the job last summer, but he got just in up under that 1 year, just over that 1 year cut. So congratulations to all of them on the board. You may have a Title IX violation here though, Dr. Cavil, with 5 men and 1 woman. You may have to turn some paperwork into the NCAA on that one though.
That's cold blooded. I'm just trying to shine a light now. Great point. Great point. With that being said, we'll take our next break, come back on the other side, and get back into it.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU Sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a loss, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Ville with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. As we get it going, I wanted to be excited with our next guest as we are bringing everybody on board in terms of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. With that being said, can we pull in our guest, Mr. Harold Ellis? Let me first say congratulations.
Thank you.
It's not about you. It's about a lot of the work and the people that you work with. But sometimes you get an opportunity where you earlier were recognized, and we got a chance to talk to you about the work you're doing and credit the coaches that got it done for you and how proud you were with the university to present them with the SIAC Men's All Sports Award. This is our inaugural version. We've done this 5 iterations for your counterparts at the FCS level out of the SWAC and MEAC. And one of them is you broke some news on here, talking about playing Howard in their homecoming game after some incredible matches you've done in New York. But he's won it at the FCS level, as well as Ashley that won it this year for Jackson State. Your name goes etched in terms of our books for whatever that's worth, and nobody can take that away from you in terms of this inaugural announcement that we plan to continue on and do. But of the top 6 that we recognize of your peers, you're on the top with the work that you've done on behalf of the SIAC and, more importantly, Morehouse College. How does it feel, Coach?
Hey, I just want to say thank you, Doc and Bishop. The one thing I can say that's incredible, because it's an incredible list of people on this list. But one thing, when you put my name with Ashley Robinson and Kerry Davis, he's one of my direct rivals now. And Ashley Robinson, I'm trying to catch him. I actually reached out to him today because I need to find out what he's doing, because he's won this award almost every year. Kerry Davis, I got a hold on him right now. And I just want to say on the behalf of Morehouse College and to, Ashley Robinson and Kerry Davis, we are coming for these guys. The SWAC and the MEAC, we're coming. I got to thank Dr. Hollowman for the SIAC. We're a small brand with the SIAC. Well, we're a big brand, but SIAC kind of tends to fall back. I just want to give the SIAC credit and Dr. Hollowman credit for where we've come. We've come a long way. I started in this conference years ago, and to see this conference where it is now, it's exceptional. This award is, I just got to say, it's the largest professional award that I've received. And it's tough because when you get in these positions, you have naysayers and doubters at this, and we were not at the top of this conference. We were not. We are now the best. We're the best in class. That's what I wanted to do. We still have a long way to go. And you said something about our scheduling. We open up in Arkansas Pine Bluff in football, basketball. Our schedule is big. Baseball is great. I got one of the best basketball coaches in HBCU, Larry Dixon. We made a change because I thought we were just okay. Now we're above average. We changed the football coach. I got an excellent coach, Willie Hill. And this year we caught lightning in a bottle. And I tell our people at Morehouse, it may never happen again, but it's happening. And I got to give credit to my president, Dr. Bowman. He's been incredible. He's been hands-on with athletics. He's a classmate. And at Morehouse, this award is not Harold Ellis Award. It is Michael Gum, Alvin Conte, Dr. Bowman, Andrea Stallings at Morehouse, Kevin Booker, Michael Davenport at Morehouse, we don't have the resources, so we have to all team up and pair together. And I think that's why we had success this year. Our mental health, guys, we don't talk about it a lot. We got a guy, Dr. Alexander, that's excellent in mental health. I mean, we're just all over the board, but at Morehouse, it's a team. It's no individuals. It's a team at Morehouse. And I got to thank the staff. Drew, Renee Wilson. We got a small staff, but those guys have been incredible in being the success and helping me be successful. And I always say the only way you can be successful, you make somebody successful first. And with Wilson and Drew and my coaching staff, all my coaches, they were incredible this year.
I appreciate you for your acknowledgement and your response in terms of acknowledging all those that helped make this a reality. With that being said, let me ask Charles to follow up with the question here at this time.
Sure thing. First and foremost, congratulations on winning this award. But I wanted to ask this question, especially with regards to obviously Morehouse is a national brand. But from an athletic standpoint, what is it that you, I guess, provide to your coaches in terms of the selling point, in terms of the way you guys have gone out and found athletes who fit or who are mission fit for Morehouse and compete at a high level?
Okay, great question. We have a big brand. And in athletics, I had a fortunate we have a high academic brand. So in athletics, I had to catch our athletic brand. I had to catch our academic brand. A lot of people don't have to do that. A lot of people, it's athletics first and then academics. With us, it's all academics. We have incredible academic people in top positions, and they set the bar for me to try to catch them in athletics, right? So when you're recruiting a kid, I do a lot of the recruiting. I know people think I'm the only AD. I give personal tours. I walk around campus. People, if you don't believe me, ask. I take them to the cafeteria. I sit in the cafeteria. I do all the major recruiting. I love it. But I'm going to tell you this. This is what I sell from Morehouse College and the parents and the kids. If you give me 4 years at Morehouse College, just 4, we going to give you 40 years back. That's the same brand that Dr. Bowman is selling. That's the same brand that we're selling on the board of directors. We're selling that you give us 4 years. And I say you give me. I tell them athletes, they're athletes, you give me. And if they're not athletes and they want to branch out and go into a different field at Morehouse College, you can still come to the athletic department. And that's a strong statement because it's true. I walk them around campus. I walk these parents around campus. I'm passionate about it. 4 years, we're going to give you 40 years back. We got proof, we got history, and that's what we do. I think we have the blueprint success for African-American young men, and I want to pass that on not only to Morehouse, I want to talk about the SIAC, and I want to talk about national because we have a national brand, and that's what I want to do.
Very powerful.
Yeah, extremely powerful. AD, this is going to be exciting for me. AD did not know about this until the last minute, and he was able to get this done in terms of the interview opportunity. But I'm sure it must be immeasurable to be able to see the excitement and hear the excitement from your direct supervisor, someone that you work for, and as you have alluded to, have come to respect on a different level. But enough of me. AD Drew, go ahead and follow up with your question.
I could be petty, Harold, and ask you how it felt to beat Reginald Ruffin in the rankings, but I'm not going to go there.
I'm going to go there after you get done, but go ahead.
And I will say that is 100% true what he's saying about tools and everything. He will get out of a meeting with an administrator just to go do a tour for some kids and everything, or ask me to go sit in the meeting so he can go do a tour and everything. But my question, Harold, done a lot of good things over the last 2 years, back-to-back SIAC Commissioner's Cup winners. What's next? What does the future bring for Morehouse so that you can be sitting in this seat next year and start getting on one of those runs like Ashley Robinson is on?
And that's a great question. And I really, what I changed on my first and second year, right? And I don't know if you guys know this story, and I'm gonna tell it quick because I've been telling this story for the last week or so. I follow this guy online, and he talk about crows and he talk about eagles, right? That's what he talks about. A crow is the only bird that would attack an eagle, and the eagle is larger, stronger, can turn around and snap the crow in half. But the eagle is successful. And when I started off with this job, I had a whole bunch of crows. And I knew that I came from a place where I was an eagle. But what I did was I wasted my time fighting the fighting the crows in the mud. And all I had to do was open them up wings and elevate. That's what eagles do. They elevate and they get so high that crows just fall off because they can't breathe. They get that high, right? And they become eagles. So I'm saying this to say, we fought in the mud those first 2 years, Drew. We fought the first year and a half, fought in the mud. Now we extended our brand. I want to go national. I am dead serious. I want Ashley Robinson. I want Kerry Davis. I want those guys. I want our brand. And I want to be on a level where we're talking about greatness. We've never been this high in athletics. I want to take it even higher in this point. I remember 30-some years ago, they said it could never be an NBA player come from Morehouse College. Could never be done. We changed it. Now we got an athletic director, got athletic director of the year, which I'm thankful. But our program has never been this successful, and we're not done. So I want to actually level set those guys. I want to come after them. We have limited resources. We have limited numbers, but I know we got a brand, and I know we got a student population. I'm telling you, I put Morehouse College students up against anybody in the country. We got the best brand in the business, and I think we got the blueprint for African-American success for young African-American men. I truly believe that.
Man, that's a powerful statement. You got me believing at a different level. I was excited just in general about my HBCU programs, but when I hear athletic directors that lead from in front in terms of what they're able to do for their program, and then they're able to do it with a level of passion for our institutions collectively as HBCUs, specifically for Morehouse in Atlanta, and what it's doing to change lives, which means it's changing communities, which changes our nation. And I know you come from this stock as well, which literally changes the world. So that's a powerful framework, and it makes me more exciting that the numbers pointed you at the top just because of what you put out there. We would be remiss if we didn't give you your last statement. Make sure as you go to your meetings that you do share with Reginald Ruffin.
Yeah,
he was on the top 6.
Let me tell you this, Coach Ruffin. I love, Tuskegee is an institution. That's one of our rivals. Our rival is mainly Kerry Davis and Howard. And then we have CAU. But Ruffin does a great job at Tuskegee, and we have another guy in the conference, Willie Washington. Those guys really set the tone for me coming in. They didn't help me now. Don't get that twisted, because they compete. The first time I beat Ruffin was last year, and he didn't speak to me in the football game. We beat him, and he didn't speak. I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with that because I compete. I want to win everything. I want to beat those guys. I want to be here next year ahead of him again. But at the end of the day, we're all peers. It's the SIAC. We're all on the same team. We got a great commissioner that leads us. But I just want to let you guys know, and the big dogs out there, that Morehouse is coming. My president is super aggressive. He wants to win. Dr. Bowman is at the top. We see eye to eye in all of this competition. So, Doc and Bishop, I just want to let you guys know next year, move us out of this division. Put us with the big dogs. Because I want them. I know if I get them, I said this when I was coming out of college, I could beat them then and I can beat them now. Trust me, I'm going to double up the work. Just pay attention to the work we're going to do this year at Morehouse College. And some programs, and some stuff that for the student athletes, I'm going to double up. So Drew, get ready too. And Drew has been great, but get ready. I'm going to double up everything we're doing. And I just want to thank Morehouse College, our alumni, our board of directors, and everybody that's involved in helping us be successful at Morehouse. Like I said, it's not an individual award at Morehouse. It's all of us collectively working to make these student athletes great.
Oh, good stuff. Drop the mic moment. We're going to take us out on this one. We'll come back on the other side. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great job.
I'll see you when I get off vacation, boss.
Oh, right.
Cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care. We all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSM Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSM Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Ville with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with the professors, Professor Bishop, Professor Drew. You know, y'all used to be oftentimes taking you to school. Well, I think we just got a good lesson into competitive banter and why I love HBCU sports and the fact that we cover it because we get a chance to take that to the people. How often do you have a chance to have dialogue with the ADs, and we are part of the group that recognizes. Let me give a shout out because we're going to go in this article to HBCU Sports, Ken Rashad, as they have their HBCU awards coming up, and they do it across the board. And I know based on just the numbers I do, that's a lot of work. Got a chance to be on the show and talk about some things, the network last year, but want to provide continuous success to Ken Rashad. So y'all check that out. Make sure you support the HBCU awards. It's only going to get bigger and better. See that he's gotten sponsors to get on board. And if we do this right, there's a chance where this could be actually a physical event where we come to a location. And if I know anything about Ken Rashad, if things are done in the way that it can be and the support is there, he's going to make it happen. It's going to be nice. And it's already nice how it is. And on this show, we plug each other. We support each other. And so I want to make sure my brother over there, even though he happens to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, I was a bit nervous at times.
That part.
Shout out to Ken Rashad. What are we doing? Well,
and I hope there's no election rigging with those awards and everything, because I know Morehouse was nominated for some of those awards. So we don't need any 2026 election rigging early, Ken. I just want to put that out there. Election integrity when you count the votes.
Man, you talking about the wrong people. That's the other group over
That's
there.
the other group. I was about to say.
Yeah, there ain't no problem. But I get you why you're concerned, because there's a lot of talk and we see it in action. But I also need to shout out Kendrick Marshall that does excellent work in that. And he particularly has an article that was fascinating to me. And I want this last segment to kind of touch on it. Toughest and easiest HBCU Division I schedules for 2026. And one thing that I really appreciate that, shout out to Mike Washington, because he'll be the first one. Big Mike, as he likes to be called, and get out there before we have to deal with him on the other side. He's still off the record, believes in bringing in brothers in a certain way. So I don't want no problem. I ain't going to say the other word because the legal folks are out there. But with that being said, he used numbers. He used the matrix to do number 1 to number 21 in terms of schedule strength. This one surprised me a little bit. I don't know if I looked this close, but Southern has the toughest schedule at 614. I'm going to go with the top 5. So I'm going to start with number 5, which is Norfolk State out of the MEAC with 507. We stay in the MEAC with Howard with 510. You have number 3, Mississippi Valley State at 518. And I think that's unusual and cruel punishment that you have a team that's trying to develop winning and you have them with ranked-wise the 3rd toughest schedule. Then 2 rivals on here. You have number 2, you have FAMU at 523, and number 1 is Southern with the toughest schedule, 614. The only one over 600 points in terms of the toughest schedule. A lot of people like Prairie View's schedule in terms of the number of FCS teams they play, but they only had number 7, and it's below 500 at 483 in terms of the numbers particular. Another school I got to recognize, Texas Southern over here, is down at 16 at 433. We have Charles Bishop that also celebrates Jackson State. So Jackson State has the 20th toughest schedule, 403. I don't think it'll do anything in terms of the fan base enthusiasm because they still going to be there. But just in terms of rankings, that's where it is there. And the bottom one at number 21 is Hampton, 382. New coach coming in. I want to imagine for him, he could at least use the rankings, but he wants to see it in terms of W's. But it'd be fascinating to kind of see what goes on there. Drew is here. So we talked about number 2, FAMU, 523. With that being said, I'm going to start with you, Drew. What are your thoughts in terms of the rankings? Didn't really get an understanding or explanation of where the numbers come from, but I'm sure that will come. But I do like the fact that there are numbers associated with the strength of schedule. What you say, Drew?
I think that these numbers are based upon the win percentage of the opponents from last season.
Okay.
So, and I need to explain something, not explain. I need to explain something to everybody in the chats. The lower you are on this list, the easier your schedule is. So for Jackson State, for all you Jackson State people in there, you want to be number 20 on this list because that means, in theory, you have an easier schedule, which if you take the inverse of it, you should have a better record because you have weaker opponents. I just want to make sure everybody understands that concept. Just given that, if we just do this based on schedule, we're looking at Jackson State and Alcorn State in the SWAC championship game because those are the two teams from the opposite divisions with the easiest schedules. So let's put that out there. FAMU, tough situation.
And that means you got South Carolina State back in the Celebration Bowl.
Exactly. If you just go based on schedule. FAMU, second toughest schedule, and you can't compete for the SWAC championship. Double-edged sword for Florida A&M University.
Yeah.
Poor Marshall Falk. You come in and you have the toughest schedule in the
and nobody on the bluff wants to hear about
it. Exactly. Ain't nobody on the bluff gonna give a rat's you know what about it. Valley, oh my God, Valley. Can Valley catch a break besides beating FAMU? Come on now. So it's just fun to look at this, but it is. Thank you, Kendrick Marshall, because you have done some of the work that I normally do before I go through and make my predictions. So you have helped me out tremendously, Ken.
Right.
You took one step away from me that I hate doing. So it's just going to be interesting. But last thing, and I'm going to pass over to Charles. Does this strength of schedule really say a whole lot when we really don't know the makeup of these teams?
I think that's the thing. I mean, that's what you take a look at every time I see, the strength of schedule, something that comes out. Of course, you're basing it on last year's opponents, but we don't know who that Delaware State is. We don't know from 2 years ago who that Tennessee State team is, and all of a sudden you look at what their schedule was the previous year, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, here they are. So I think those are the things that you do have to kind of take in with regards to the strength of schedule. There's always going to be one or two teams that you just didn't fathom. I think Bethune-Cookman was one of those type teams last year. Like, you did not see them sort of become who they became. And even Alcorn toward the end of the year, I swear that was a different Alcorn that I called from when they played Prairie View. So, I kind of take the strength of schedule thing with a grain of salt.
Let me throw one other thing in here. The BAC teams, if you see them, normally have a higher strength of schedule because they play more non-conference games, and a lot of these teams go out and play your Patriot leagues and some of your other Northeastern Conference and everything that are traditionally tougher opponents and everything. So I'm not surprised to see Howard all the way up there and the Norfolk all the way up there because of those 6 non-conference games that they have, or 7 non-conference games now. Excuse me.
Great points. Well, riddle me this, because you're right. Obviously, we have to have some talking points.
Right.
But this is part of the season where it goes in there. And least credit to AD Drew that he was able to provide a framework where he believes how the numbers were calculated. So it gives you a framework in terms of understanding this. But as the professionals, where folks look for you to do analysis, what are some of the biggest components that you look at, Charles, particularly in this changing landscape where the rosters churn so much? And in the past, even if they churn, there was usually a couple of key folks that you could look at returning, that you could kind of put your hand in the sand and say, I'm comfortable with saying, 1 through 6 or 1 through 5 at that time. That's changed so much, but you still have to do some analysis.
Yeah.
I'm still going to bring you on the show and ask you, what do you think? So if you would share a little bit, what things are you starting to look at now? And I know this is evolving because it's really the second year in this kind of iteration, maybe third for some people may suggest that. But what things are you starting to extrapolate from your data to look at?
For me, it's definitely the returning quarterbacks. We talk about it all the time. Have a quarterback, you have some wins, and you got quite a few coming back. So to have a seasoned play caller, some continuity under center, that's a big thing that I kind of take a look at. And then I take a look at kind of what were the strengths of your team. Over the past, I can take Jackson State. I think, you just take a look at the roster. One of the big strengths was they could run the football ad nauseum whenever they felt like it. Well, when you take a look and you lose Ahmad Miller, you lose Travis Terrell, you lose Dontario Davenport. That's huge to me. So now those carries fall to a Nate Blunt and I don't know who. So if I'm a Jackson State fan, I'm kind of like, oh boy, that running back room was really strong, and I lost a lot of components last year. So I started kind of taking a look at what were the stronger elements of your team from the previous year. And if you've had a lot of roster churn, especially in that position group, what does it look like, 3-4 games into the season?
Good stuff. Drew, same question in this case. What metrics are you looking at based on this new iteration of what football has come at the collegiate level?
Besides those eye test characteristics that Charles just mentioned, because a lot of that stuff that Charles mentioned is that eye test that we look at. I actually kind of look at the schedule. Where are your games at? How many home games versus road games do you have?
Yeah,
who are your opponents at home? Who do you have to travel to? We always, we'll take the SWAC. One of the first things I look at, where Jackson State and Alabama State playing at this year. That's one of those things that when you're looking at those two teams, where's that game at this year? Yeah. Where's FAMU and Alabama State playing at? Where's FAMU and Jackson playing at? You have to look at those things, where those games are at. And if they're a neutral site game, then that really throws a monkey wrench into any type of analysis that you have to do. How many miles are you putting on the bus as we go into these games? How far are we having to travel to these games and everything?
West Coast to East Coast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
West Coast, East Coast, and knowing how some teams travel, where, some teams, travel, they travel over so many miles, they're going to fly there. Where another team, they may be taking that 12-hour bus ride. You have to know these little bitty nuances as you start factoring in. One other one, games after playing a higher level opponent. This case, we're talking FCS. So when they play an FBS game, who are they playing that next week after that FBS game? Is that a game? Is that a winnable game? I.e., they're playing a Division II opponent, or they're playing a tough opponent. They're playing a tough opponent after playing the FBS. Probably gonna put a loss for that particular game. So those are little things that when you dive deeper, besides the numbers, that I look at when I'm kind of going through and making my predictions on what somebody's record is going to be.
I like both of those, and I certainly will hold on to those. And those are things that I do and started last year in terms of quarterback returning or not, how much time they played, if they're bringing somebody in, how much they played prior to wherever they're coming into. And then the other one I like what Drew put on the table there in terms of schedule. Charles will tell you one of the first things I started looking at when we had the 12-team newest version of the SWAC expansion was about the schedule, home and away. I like the fact you talk about after FBS, who's the opponent. I also am very curious in terms of, how many consecutive road games you may have or home games you may have in the season. And who do you play after a rivalry game if it's not at the end of the year? is always intriguing to me. But the one that I'm starting to lean on a little bit until I get further data to start moving away from it is the proven coach. I think with so much changes now, proven coaches that we've come to trust in terms of figuring it out, including what they are able to do with their staff, is something that I'm starting to look at a little more than I have in the past in terms of this new iteration of what we're seeing in college athletics. With that being said, tremendous show today. Want to say thank you for jumping in here and being consistent in terms of what you bring to the lab listeners. Also want to say that the independent show on Wednesday that you have become to support, that will come back to taking a summer break like our high school students are and some of our college students. They're taking a summer break until we get back into it for the fall. So you can look for that coming back at that time. But I want to say thank you for the listeners to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. I want to say thank you to A.D. Ellis in terms of joining us and really providing some excitement and analysis in terms of why he does what he does. In his humbleness in terms of accepting our acknowledgement of what he's done this season and alluding to how much more work he wants to get done and shouting out so many people that are involved with his success. Really, to me, is what we talk about, the HBCU sports culture, the sporting HBCU diaspora in general, the collective in terms of us, from what do we mean to each other. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta, Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, A.D. Drew. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Bill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're getting close to where we will be back that Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We have a couple of other things that we're mixing in our meal prep in the lab, getting you ready for this fall. So tune in and listen as we have some exciting things in store, not just here in terms of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, but also across the network with BCSN. So we're excited to continue the work that we do for our HBCU listeners, particularly our sports fan enthusiasts. Thank you for spending some time with us. And we look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. And happy birthday and anniversary, if you would, to Mother Tuskegee in terms of July 4th, as we alluded to them. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook, Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big, continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles.
Of course.
AD.
Lecture.
Dismiss.